Good afternoon, Miss. This is Team Quamina, Marvin,
Michelle,
Terry.
and we are here today to discuss on our comparison between Japan and
Trinidad and Tobago.
and what is the topic we're choosing?
religious issues.
Religious issues, right? So, in our research, we have found some comparisons and some differences. Correct,
What?
bro?
One of the main comparisons that in Japan there are two main religions. That is the Shinto and Buddhism. In Trinidad, we have upwards of 5. Basically, Roman Christians, Hindus, Muslims, and the Protestants.
That is true. However, one thing that is different that I have not seen in Trinidad is individual practicing 2 religions simultaneously. That is done in Japan, where they practice both.
Shintoism as well as Buddhism simultaneously.
So you say one person being same both religions at the same time?
Correct. The two major religions are practiced simultaneously by the majority of the population, which is about 90% of Japan.
And what the next 10% doing?
The other 10% will practice religions such as Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and any other Western culture that is incorporated into the country. You can celebrate your religion, practice your religion without any reservations based on it by the
So in
state.
other words, they allow the people to practice their beliefs freely
Yes,
if they choose to.
yes, they do. They are actually a secular state.
Okay, so
But in
then
Trinidad, we are allowed to practice freely as well. The only difference is that the majority of the population in Trinidad practice Christianity. That is people in terms of Roman Catholics, Anglicans, who else?
7 days.
7 days.
Jehovah's Witness, all
Yeah.
these people.
And then we have Hinduism and Islam, which is the Muslims.
Right. But in Trinidad, we have all these nice designs of churches. We have the Roman Catholic Church, almost been hundreds of years ago. We have the Anglican Church. We go to worship almost everybody worship every Sunday or weekly.
Yeah, because in terms of the Anglican and Roman Catholic faith, they have worship every day and on Sundays. Where in Japan, the shrine and the temple is placed on the same compound.
So you're trying to tell me Shinto and Buddhism on the same
On
compound?
the same compound. So sometimes it's hard if you don't know to know which is which.
To differentiate.
Right. But in Trinidad, because we have so many different religions, there's an exclusivity. So everybody has their own church or own temple or mosque, and you can identify with it.
Which are easily distinguishable
Yes.
from each other.
What are you telling me? People that go to the shrine and thing weekly?
Well, I'm not too sure if it's go weekly, but what I do know that even though they're on the same compound, the shrine, what they do in the shrine is that you have to go there and use a bamboo ladle to wash your hands and mouth to purify your spirit before. And if you go into the temple, you have to take off your shoes when you enter the main building and kneel.
Terry, you were telling me that they visit the shrine something like on a marriage, on a special occasion,
Yeah.
marriage and births or
Births,
something.
marriage, yeah. Just for those, not like us who go regularly for weekly as to worship. We have 7 religious holidays. Out of those 7 religious holidays, we have 3 main holidays, which are Christmas, Eid, and Diwali. Christmas celebrated by Christians, Eid by the Muslims, and Diwali by the Hindus.
So we're just saying to you that in Trinidad, seeing that we have different religions, everybody still have an opportunity to have a holiday to practice their belief.
Yes, we remember no kind of restrictions on religious observations.
Mm-hmm.
So we similar in that aspect.
But we similar in that aspect. But Richie, do we have no correction? No, I'm not Japanese, even though I might have a Japanese eye. I'm not Japanese. Well, let me ask you a question. Do Japan, in your research, have so much of religious holidays?
So they have a religious holiday.
A religious holiday?
Yes, which happens to be New Year's Day. The practices in Japan is that they visit the cemeteries, burial places, because
it's our tradition to visit shrines to pray for good luck in that year, while also purchasing a lot of good luck charms and fortune talismans, and we also go to temples to visit our ancestors' graves. Your first visit of the year to a shrine is called Hatsumode.
I think I hear say that. They visit the loved ones in the cemetery. So is the loved ones buried or cremated?
Yes, very good point. They are cremated. Alright, so they would cremate their loved ones,
past loved ones,
and then they would bury the ashes underneath tombstones, so that way there is always this connectivity with them, unlike practices in religions such as Hinduism, where they are likely to put the ashes on the water and it washes out into the sea.
So this practice might then burying the ashes on that tombstone. Is this Shinto?
This more aligns with the Buddhist aspect of their religious beliefs, because Buddhism focuses on the achieving enlightenment and ending suffering through practices such as meditations. So one can actually see why at a solemn function such as a funeral, there would be this calmness, there would be this serenity, right? As they are glad that the person's suffering would have ended, but they are also enlightening themselves with memories of the
loved ones
of the past.
But in Trinidad, we only practice cremation in Hindu religion.
No, in other religions we also cremate.
Cremate in other religions?
Yeah, in Roman Catholic, Anglican. We go to the funeral homes, bell groves, guys, they have crematoriums where sometimes the families decide to cremate their loved ones instead of bury them. Mm-hmm. And what they do is after 2 days, the funeral home get the ashes and they put it in an urn and they give it to the families. Some families choose to bury this urn on graves of other loved ones that may have died before. Mm-hmm. Some of them go out into the sea and scatter the ashes. And some people also keep the urns at home, in their homes.
Cremations is becoming an option in Trinidad and Tobago, largely because the official burial sites are full, so that we just do not have any spaces at cemeteries to dispose of our cadavers.
But one thing though, in Trinidad, Muslims, when they pass away, they actually get buried the day right after. They don't keep their bodies long at all.
What is it?
Yeah, or the same day.
They die in the morning, they bury them by 4 o'clock in the evening, they're inside.
So, even as we look at comparisons and differences between Japan and Trinidad, there are differences within religions in Trinidad as well.
Yes.
Wow.
But we are a multicultural society here in Trinidad, so yeah, it is expected to find differences.
Yes. And also because in Japan, 90% of the population practices has this unique blend of worship of Shintoism and Buddhism. So at the end of the day, they believe the same thing. However, in Trinidad and Tobago, we are more our religious landscape is more diverse.
Now, one of the places that you see that a lot is when we have interfaith services in terms of national security. So like in police, when we have our interfaith service, even though we do it in the Roman Catholic Church, we will get somebody from each one of the faiths, from the Baptist faith, from the Muslim faith, the Hindu faith, and so on, coming to speak on behalf of their people. Because remember, in the service, you have people of all the different faiths that work.
So you can't discriminate one.
No, that's the good thing. The good thing about Trinidad and Tobago and this interfaith, this religious organization that we have, that we all learn this level of tolerance and dialogue amongst each other with our different faiths.
So, right. So I think we cover the bases. What do you think, fellas and lady?
We learn plenty from
All right, and lady and fellas, be politically correct.
Mm-hmm. We learn a lot. We learn the differences. We learn the similarities. You understand? We learn that they don't restrict people from their beliefs. Still maintain that respect when it comes to ceremonies and spect.
I think we good there.
Right?
There's the Western influence.
Starting to grow.
Yeah, but I feel they will trumpet out soon.